Imagine if the subtle sweetness of a pear, or maybe the grounding presence of a potato, or even that bracing zest of a lemon, could tell you a story about a hidden part of yourself, maybe a complex personality.
Yeah, it's a fascinating idea.
Well, today we're doing just that. We're diving into Kenny's Food Notes, this really remarkable collection of insights. Now, what exactly is Kenny in this context?
Right, it's not a person you know, it's more like a distinct subpersonality, a specific kind of essential part of your inner self that has these unique traits.
Okay, so our mission today is to unpack these culinary metaphors. We want to pull out the most important nuggets of insight, really, and discover how the essence of these foods, pears, potatoes, sour ingredients, reveals the quiet wisdom, the foundational strength, and that disciplined clarity of your inner Kenny.
You'll basically get a shortcut to understanding this unique blend of character and cuisine.
Exactly. Let's dig in. So let's begin with the pear. When you think of this fruit, what comes to mind? For me, it's that classic bell shape, right?
Hmm.
And they come in all these inviting colors, green, yellow, red, sometimes brown. And the taste, it's just incredible. Sweet, juicy, often kind of mildly floral, sometimes with a little tart note that catches you off guard.
Yeah, and you have those different textures too, the soft, almost buttery European ones, and then the Asian pears, which are super crisp, more like an apple.
Right. And what's really intriguing, I think, is how some varieties actually ripen best off the tree. It's not immediate.
It's a quiet transformation, isn't it?
Uh,
And what's really striking about the pear, I think, is its deep history and symbolism. You know, it's native to parts of Europe, North Africa, Asia, and cultivation goes way back, like 1000 BCE.
Yeah.
The Greeks and Romans, they really championed it, spread it across Europe. So this isn't just any fruit. It's got serious historical weight. It was even seen as a symbol of luxury during the Renaissance.
Wow. And beyond just the history, the symbolism itself is fascinating. You mentioned it's linked to fertility and abundance, which, makes sense given how fruitful it is.
Sure.
But then there's this really interesting Chinese myth. Pears can signify immortality, right? But there's this weird caveat. Splitting a pear between people is actually bad luck. Like, it's seen as splitting a relationship.
It truly is strange, isn't it? It really makes you pause. It kind of speaks to a certain fragility, maybe a hidden conditionality, even within something that seems so wholesome.
Yeah.
It's not just about what the pear is, but how you handle it, how it's shared. It highlights a really nuanced view on connection, I think. Even while it holds these other deep meanings like purity in some Middle Eastern traditions or good fortune during the Lunar New Year.
Okay, so when we connect this back to Kenny, this is profound. A pear doesn't really shout for attention, does it?
Not at all.
Its sweetness isn't like bam in your face. It's subtle, it's earned, often developing quietly, like that ripening off the tree thing we mentioned. So what does that quiet internal journey of becoming say about Kenny's inner world?
Precisely. That's the connection. It really speaks to Kenny's capacity to love deeply, but maybe only when it feels safe, true, stable. Unlike fruits that give you that instant sugar rush.
Right.
A ripe pear is soft, but it still has structure. It reflects someone who's done the hard work of self-reflection. This is Kenny's inner life. Nurturing wisdom, emotional discipline, ripening with grace over time.
It's a beautiful reminder of why we build relationships on a foundation of true connection, not just fleeting impulses.
Exactly.
So if the pear gives us this window into Kenny's quiet internal depth, where does he find his grounding, his, unwavering support?
Well, that brings us right to the potato.
That makes me think immediately of the potato, yeah. The truly foundational strength, the anchor root, this humble tuber growing underground, quietly gathering strength. It's so much more than just a side dish, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And that whole subterranean existence thing,
Yeah.
supporting entire populations without seeking the spotlight, that resonates so strongly with Kenny. Think about its history. Domesticated way back in the Andes thousands of years ago, then it spreads across the globe, literally sustaining civilizations.
Right, like in Ireland.
Exactly. It became so central in Ireland that its failure during the Great Famine, well, it became this stark reminder of its essential life-giving power and the profound resilience associated with it.
So Kenny isn't just strong. He's that underlying strength, the often underestimated strength that holds systems together, quietly providing sustenance even through huge challenges. He's like what you build everything else on.
That's it, exactly. It's a truly global crop now. It grows in all sorts of cool climates. From its origins, the potato became a staple everywhere, feeding millions. That sheer adaptability, that quiet ability to sustain despite different conditions, that really brings us back to Kenny. He doesn't need perfect circumstances to provide.
And there are so many kinds. You have russets for baking and frying, Yukon Golds for that creamy mash.
Red potatoes for roasting, fingerlings,
Mm.
even those vibrant purple or blue ones, packed
Hmm.
with antioxidants.
Yeah. And the culinary uses are just endless across so many cultures. Mashed potatoes, French fries, sure, but
Yeah.
also German potato dumplings, Italian gnocchi, Peruvian papas a la huancaína.
Colombia da Yaco. The list goes on.
It's fascinating how something so simple can be transformed in so many essential ways.
And that really is the essence of Kenny with the potato. He isn't flashy. He lives beneath the surface, quietly gathering strength, feeding millions, holding cultures together. He is the anchor, supporting systems without needing credit.
Like a potato, essential but often underestimated.
Right. He supports others' brilliance by providing that substance, that stability. Potatoes can be roasted, mashed, baked, fried. They're flexible, but they don't lose their core.
Mhm.
Kenny, too, he's adaptive, but within principle, he doesn't need the spotlight. He is the plate holding the meal.
These potatoes are what you build from. Legacy food.
Absolutely. Embodying Kenny's long-term thinking and his community-centered values.
Okay, so from the deep, quiet strength of the potato, we now move to something quite different. The bracing chill of sour foods. This feels like where we find Kenny's discipline. What is it about sourness that feels so awakening?
Well, sour foods are bold, aren't they? Unapologetic. They cut through heaviness. They sharpen the senses. They signify things like resilience, purification, acute awareness.
Clarifying, uncompromising.
Exactly. And absolutely essential for balance, much like Kenny himself, actually.
Okay, so let's take lemons and limes. They don't just add flavor, right? They cleanse, they cut through richness, brighten everything up. How does that connect to Kenny?
Think of a lemon or a lime as the principled voice in a confusing world. Like Kenny, it doesn't overpower. It reveals. It brings clarity through structure and ethical rigor. It kind of scrubs away the residue from a system, making sure what's left is pure and clean.
I like that, scrubbing the residue. Okay,
Yeah.
what about vinegar? And pickled foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, their sourness comes from fermentation, right? That slow transformation process that builds complexity.
Yeah, and this really mirrors Kenny's long game mindset, his deep belief that systems need to be maintained, not just created and then forgotten about.
Ah, stewardship.
Precisely. That fermentation process is a perfect metaphor for his ethic of legacy and stewardship. Slow, principled transformation that actively resists spoilage ensures longevity.
Okay, makes sense. What about the tartness of, say, a green apple or a kiwi? It's that sharp bite, wakes you up. It evokes a certain youthful hunger, maybe, a clarity that's almost bracing.
That connects directly to what the notes call Kenny's rites of passage mindset. It's about recognizing that clarity and discipline are necessary for integrity, like the trials of early life building a wise steward. It's not about being soft, it's about necessary sharpness.
Okay, and then sour cherries and cranberries. They're tart, yes, but maybe not aggressive. They have a bittersweet quality sometimes. They make me think of reflection, memory, a kind of earned restraint, like stories passed down.
You're spot on. These really tap into Kenny's connection to generational wisdom, to legacy. They make you ask, what are we truly passing down?
Right.
These fruits symbolize the ethical sweetness of memory, a wisdom that comes from considering the past and building for the future. You can almost hear it in a song like Bridges. It honors ancestors and descendants.
It's all about that underlying structure then, isn't it? Like certain
Yeah.
spices, sumac, amchur, tamarind. They're subtle accents. They balance and elevate a meal, but they don't need to be the main ingredient.
They're Kenny's symbolic tools in a way. He doesn't seek the spotlight. Instead, he adds structure so others can shine. He brings that moral orientation to chaotic situations. He's the seasoning that brings out the best in everything around him.
Okay. And then we have things like buttermilk and yogurt. Sour, definitely, but also cooling, grounding. They offer comfort without, well, without complacency.
That perfectly echoes his balance, doesn't it? Firm boundaries, but with quiet care underneath. Think of Kenny as structural support that also nourishes, like a clean, well-ordered system that holds people with underlying love and stability.
Right. Okay, one more category. Rhubarb and gooseberries. They feel a bit odd, maybe old world, often misunderstood, perhaps. But they challenge you and they reward you.
And that resonates so deeply with Kenny. He isn't trendy or fleeting. He's durable, historical, foundational. Rhubarb kind of embodies Kenny as a principled outsider, someone whose value isn't always obvious right away, but becomes absolutely irreplaceable in the long run because of its unique, lasting contribution.
So looking at this whole bracing world of sourness, What's the core message for Kenny? It seems to be about clarity, right? Cutting through noise, asking what's ethical, what will last.
Definitely clarity and preservation too, reflecting that slow, diligent, sustainable system maintenance.
Discipline, obviously. Embodying Kenny's sharp, principled, no-nonsense moral compass.
And fundamentally legacy.
Mm.
Because sour foods, much like Kenny, they age well. They hold memory, tradition, continuity across generations.
And if you listen to Kenny's soundtrack, apparently you can hear these qualities woven throughout.
Oh yeah, drive is like vinegar maintaining societal flow, precision. Bridges is absolutely set. Sour cherries, all about memory, intergenerational wisdom.
Okay.
It's a Trap has that yogurt-like quality, self-aware, maybe a bit humorous, corrective, but without cruelty, gently bringing you back into alignment. And the American dream. That feels deeply tamarind-like.
Yeah.
It's sour, yes, but also rich, complex, pushing for a more grounded, shared future that actually endures.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive has really shown how the quiet wisdom of a pear, the foundational strength of a potato, and that bracing clarity of sour foods all combine. They form this rich, symbolic portrait of the Kenny subpersonality. It's a truly unique way to understand character through cuisine.
It really is. And as we've explored, sour isn't always easy, but it is absolutely essential. Kenny's flavor in your own internal system. It's not about a sugar rush. It's about grounded, enduring transformation.
He's the preservation method.
Exactly. The bracing chill in the morning that calls you to get up. Let's build something that lasts. So maybe we can leave you with this thought to consider. What foundational structures are you building in your own life? The kind that will stand the test of time. And what sharp, principled decisions are you making right now to ensure their lasting legacy?